We are in the midst of the holiday season, and with it, a long shopping list of gifts. But if you're still doing some last-minute shopping, heads up, cybersecurity risks are especially high this time of year. Joining me now is Casey Ellis. He's a cybersecurity expert and founder of cybersecurity platform called Bugcrowd in San Francisco. Bugcrowd just released its 2019 State of Retail report. Casey, first of all, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it. So what are the major threats that we should be aware of?
Yeah, the holiday season is always a very active time of year for fraudsters. You know, people that want to basically get a financial gain, people that are targeting things like credit cards, skimming transactions, trying to perform identity theft, you know, even opening up credit cards in other people's names in the form of store cards and things like that.
And Casey, you say that the holiday season is obviously the most dangerous time of year for retailers and for buyers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Why is that?
I think there's a lot of money going around. Like, that's the main thing. There's more money being spent. I think there is a different attitude to risk that tends to happen this time of year when it comes to spending money and when it comes to selling things as well. You know, the goal is velocity, the goal is gift giving, the goal is all of these different things that are unusual for this time of year. And in general, people are just wanting to get things done and are generally less cautious in how they're behaving as a product of that.
Right, so a lot of retailers doing a lot of selling these days. What should they do to avoid falling victim?
For retailers, it's really about making sure that they're keeping an eye on things in the same manner that they would any other time of year. You know, if there's people coming in for store card checks, for example, not pushing those through because it's the holiday season and there's a long line and you want to get the thing done. You know, there's the sorts of things where, you know, I think speed is the enemy of security oftentimes when it comes to good decision making and not allowing those sorts of things to happen. So really it comes down to being mindful of the risk and really acting and behaving as mindfully about security as you would any other time of year.
Right, and what about the other side? What can shoppers do to protect themselves at this time of year?
Yeah, so shoppers are an interesting category in this mix. I think, you know, one of the other pieces that happens a lot around this time of year is phishing. So, for example, you know, your package is on its way, it's delayed. If you just put your credit card details back in, we'll be able to send it to you and carry it on. The techniques that cyber criminals are using to make those emails look legitimate to a shopper are increasing in their sophistication, and it's harder to tell what's what. So I think for the shopper, you know, again, stop and think, be mindful of you know, whether or not that thing is legit, whether it looks okay. You know, if there's a doubt or a reservation, like, stop for a second and actually contact the retailer and see if it was actually from them.
Okay, so your company Bugcrowd started in 2012.
Yes.
Since then, a lot has happened, including in 2016 with the election. A lot of people concerned about misinformation being out there, cybersecurity and hackers. What has your firm been doing? How has it evolved over the course of the last 7 years or so?
Yeah, definitely. And I would frame that up actually from my experience prior to Bugcrowd as well. I've been in security for 20 plus years at this point. The big thing that's shifted over that period of time is that, you know, security is a dinner table conversation now. It used to be the domain of, you know, zealots like myself and geeks. Now it's something that, you know, grandma is concerned about. And I think that's with the escalating, you know, cadence of stories around how it does impact the average person, 2016 being a really good example of that. You know, hacking used to be this abstract thing for the average person. All of a sudden it's affecting an election, which obviously impacts everyone. So yeah, I think the awareness and really the accountability that goes to, you know, people like retailers to actually do things well, but then also deliver confidence and proof that they are doing things well, that's definitely gone up.
Right. Casey, I understand that Bugcrowd has worked with the Department of Defense,
yes, yeah.
Working with them on cybersecurity. I was kind of surprised to hear Netflix also.
Yes.
Who's hacking Netflix and what's happening there?
Yeah, I mean, Netflix, MasterCard, Tesla, there's a whole bunch of technology companies that we work with, and what they run is what's called a bug bounty or even a vulnerability disclosure program. Essentially what they're doing is a variation of crowdsourced security where they're going out to the open internet and saying, okay, you know, if you can find something, tell us, and if you're successful and you're the first to find a new thing, we'll reward you for it. So really what they're attracting is a combination of the hackers that work with us, on our platform, and then even people that are just concerned citizens that are noticing an issue that think might be indicative of a problem. It really does establish neighborhood watch for the internet, and I think that's one of the powerful aspects of the model.
All right, very good insight here today. Casey Ellis from Bugcrowd in San Francisco. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.